Hi guys. Okay, so we're continuing with estimation in division. Our aim today is pretty much the same as it's been for the last couple of lessons, and actually today we're going to combine lessons 21 and 22. That aim that you see is for 21, but the aim for 22 is the same thing. The only difference is it has higher numbers. So we're going to do the same thing as we've been doing. As I said, we're going to round the divisor first, then round the dividend to a convenient number. Okay, so you guys go ahead and do that. Hit pause, and then come back and check if you see what your number is compared to mine. Okay, so here are the numbers that I chose to use as my estimates. You may have gotten something a little bit different, but we all should be in the same area for the most part. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do some problems. And let's see what we have. So we have a couple of numbers here to work with. You're going to go ahead and do the same thing. You're going to round the divisors. And then you're going to actually do the long division. Okay, so rounding the divisors first, all of them, and looking at the first two numbers in the dividend to figure out a convenient number that you're going to divide by. So for example, here in the first one, I would use 50 here, and I would use 250 here, because I know that that is convenient. I didn't round it to 200 and I didn't round it to 300 because I know 250 can be divided by 50, so it just is the closest I could possibly get. So what you're going to do is you're going to estimate everything, and then you're going to do the work for number 2 and number 4. So you're actually going to go ahead and do the long division, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Okay, so hit pause and go ahead and do just these two, 2 and 4. Okay, so now you should have finished those couple of problems, and here are the correct answers. So right now I'm going to work on this one with you and show you something interesting. If I were to round this, I would have done 50 and 350, because like number 1, I know 350 is divisible by 50 because 35 is divisible by 5, right? Because I'm always looking at the first two numbers and then the first number of the divisor. So if I do the long division on that, okay, so my estimate or my answer to that would be 7. So I'm estimating that 369 divided by 46 is about 7. That's my estimate. So now this is pretty interesting. So watch what happens. So 369 divided by 46, right? And I'm thinking 7. That's my estimate. So am I thinking 36 divided by 46 is 7? No, I'm thinking 369 divided by 46 is 7. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the work. 6 times 7 is 42, carry a 4. 7 times 4 is 28, and 28 plus 4 is 32. So now I'm going to subtract. 9 minus 2 is 7, and 6 minus 2 is 4. Well, hello, that can't be true. This is impossible. This number can never ever be bigger than that number. So I can't use that number. I can't use 7. It's not possible because I'll have a remainder of 47, right? And this remainder can never ever, say that, never ever be bigger than the divisor. Never, ever. It's wrong. So then I look at this and I say, okay, so what do I have to do? This is too much. So I have to go up 1. I need another 46 because I could subtract 47 minus 46 and have 1 left, right? So I'm going to change the 7 to an 8. So I'm adding one more 46 to it. So now let's see what happens. If I have 369 and I'm dividing it by 46, I know these were good numbers to start with, but it was just like a little tiny bit off. So now I'm going to go with 8. So let's see what happens now. So 48, I'm sorry, 8 times 6 is 48. Carry a 4. 4 times 8 is 32 plus 4 is 36. I subtract it and I have 1 as my remainder. So do you see what I was saying up here? If I added another 46, instead of using the 7, I would use an 8. And I know that adding another 46 would leave me with 1 as a remainder. And that is true. That's exactly what happened. So I hope I'm explaining that clearly. Let me just try one more time. So 369 divided by 46. I used my 7. When I subtracted, I got 47. My remainder can never be higher than my divisor. So I know I need to add another 46 here. And I could do that if I bump up the 7 to an 8. So now I take away another 46 because I'm doing 8 times 46, which I show you right here. And then my remainder is just 1. Okay? So check all these answers, make sure you're right. Okay? And then the way you check, remember, you do 46, which is my divisor, by 8, which is 8, 6, 368, that's true, plus my 1, which is 369. So it worked. Okay? Good. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go into a word problem that's actually from lesson 22, I think. Hold on a second. Yeah, this word problem is from lesson 22. So this is showing you how similar everything is, basically. So it's still division. The numbers might be a little bit bigger, but not to worry because you're still using the same exact concept of estimating and dividing and checking your answer with multiplication. So here's a word problem from the problem set of lesson 22. It says Hallie solved 664 divided by 48 and got a quotient of 13, remainder 40. How could she use her work below to solve the new problem, 659 divided by 48, without redoing the work? Explain your thinking. So she did 664 divided by 48, and now how can she use this work to do another problem without actually doing the work all over again? So the explanation is here, okay? Since 659 is 5 less than 664, right? So we're getting our numbers from up here. It means that instead of the remainder of 40 here, the remainder should simply be 35, okay? Because you're starting off with two numbers, 664 and 659. So if you swapped this one out for that, it's 5 less than the number we started with. So therefore, the remainder would be 5 less than 40. Does that make sense? So that's what they're asking you to do in lesson 22. So it's really the same exact thing. And then they're asking you to check your answer. So let's go ahead and do that. So if I did 13, actually I like to put my bigger number on the top. So if I did 48 times 13, I would get 4 carry a 2 is 12, and 2 is 14. Hold my place because I'm working with 10. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 4 is 4. And I have 4. 2 carry a 1 is 624. But then I have to add in my 40. And so my answer is 664. So that's correct. So now let's see if our thinking is right with the remainder should be 35 for this one. Okay, it should be 13, remainder 35. So let's just see. If we did, hold on a second, guys. Sorry. My cat needed me. Okay, so if I do 659 divided by 48, I'm saying my answer is going to be 13 remainder 35, right? That's what I'm saying without doing any of the division work. So let's see if I'm right. Okay, so now we do 48 times 13, and I'm going to get the same exact answer, right? I'm going to do all the same work. 24, carry a 2 is 14, hold my place, and I'm going to have 8, 4, and I'm adding it. 4, 2, carry a 1 is 624. So far, so good. So then 624 plus 35, and I have 9, 5, 6. In other words, 659 and 659. So I'm right. So when the dividend is just a little bit less than an original dividend, you can figure out the answer without figuring it out completely with long division. You just need to subtract the difference between the first dividend and the second dividend, and then subtract it from the remainder. Okay? Just watch this a couple of times if it's confusing to you. Alright, we'll talk about this tomorrow, and that takes care of 2 lessons in 1 video, so that's great. Alright, so you're going to do the problem sets. You're going to do the numbers that are circled and come in with any problems or questions. Okay, and remember, my Edmodo cutoff time is 8 o'clock, so don't think I'm going to answer you after 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is my cutoff time. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.